Kyle and Amanda arrived together for the first and last time this summer. Amanda doesn't trust West with Ciara's heart, and by West, she means herself. And Kyle went to the bad place this episode, the really, really bad place. Welcome to Showmance, guys, the #1 show on YouTube doing deep dives on shows with no depth.
It started out fun.
It really started out lovely.
Real fun and summery and beachy and good times.
And also
vibes.
with the camp, and that was like do-gooding. It was lovely.
Could have watched more of that, was my note there.
So we start at Camp Sunrise in the city, which was super sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, they were trying to sell us on Jesse mid-season when all the scandal stuff started happening because, they needed someone for us to like on the show. But I also wonder, because he did do this, obviously, before the whole Scamanda thing came out, I do wonder if any of his arc is organic, because he does seem to have had a little shift. And by the way, all of his interviews where I'm feeling like he's had the shift could have been post-Scamandal, like if they called them back in to talk about stuff. But I don't know, when he said during this segment, when he was just like, I went into this summer feeling really lonely and wanting to be in a relationship. And then I realized, maybe it's not the relationship I should be in. I should just work on myself. And I was like, come again, Jesse?
I don't think the volunteering has anything to do with anything, because I think he said that when he does it and he enjoys it and gets that, that feeling out of it. But then last year, didn't they go do Thanksgiving or something?
No, they went and cooked at the American Cancer Society has a place, and they went and volunteered.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if he did anything season 1, or if that's like a thing that every year they're going to go on a Jesse volunteer mission.
But I think I guess what I was referencing was what he said that you had missed in his confessional when he was just like, so I don't know if that was post-scandal, but regardless, he did say it, and I think I don't want to give Jesse too much credit, but it does show a bit of growth for.
I don't care about Jesse, so I don't care about anything he says.
Who you hate everyone?
I just don't care about Jesse. He just doesn't really exist to me currently.
But even this, Jesse and Carl, just watching them interact with these kids didn't give you
No, I was totally focused on everything Ciara was saying, because with her confessional where she starts to talk about, being happy to be back with West and being friends again and being buds. And then she stops herself and is like,
that shit was weird.
Yeah. To stop and say you're not going to use a word because platonic, because it means, or I'm sorry, buds means platonic, which to my knowledge basically means not romantic at all, strictly business, strictly friends, strictly, just not romantic. And I just don't know why she would stop and correct herself on using that word if something else hasn't been going on.
Yeah. No, that
I'm with you.
That blew my whole shit out the water. I was like, I didn't hear about that one.
That is real nice to hear.
I don't know. Honestly, I love Ciara, but at this point, this could be the dumbest girl I ever met. If you're still in love with this dude and this is still happening and this is still, then I'm like, what's happening?
Because every time you mention it, you always go to she's in love with him. It's love. You guys think it's love. There is
me?
Yeah, you just said if she's still in love with this dude.
I'm just now having this realization based off her comment, though. I thought this was a friend thing, that she cared more about the friendship and that it wasn't a romantic thing.
Yes, but then every time I say, I think it's both. I think there's feelings there, and there's also the friendship stuff going on. And I'm very clear that the feelings aren't oh my God, I'm desperately, madly in love with you. You're my soulmate. I feel like that nuance, it gets you're never clocking that. For you think she's either totally in love with him or it's just a friend vibe. Do you not think that she could just maybe there are still feelings there? I just don't know what they are.
No, it's not a not clocking thing, and it's not an either or. It is I up until this thing that she said thought that it was a friendship that she was missing, and that was the love and that was the thing that she was sad about. So I think it's that up until before this episode. now it might be, nope, she's actually in love with him. It's not an either or. I think that if she's in love with him romantically and wants to be his girlfriend or wife, she's still friends. They're still, it doesn't mean like, oh, we can't be friends.
No,
So
that's what I've been saying, that like it's the friendships. That's why I keep saying it's been both the friendship stuff and
yeah,
relationship
great. I
stuff.
never thought it was both until just now.
No, I know that. Where I'm getting confused is you keep going to, oh, if she's in love with him, and I'm saying she might not be desperately, deeply, madly in love with him. She could just be like, there are feelings here. I just don't know what they are. Like I haven't located them yet. I'm just saying like the temperature might not be at love yet, but you're going to love. So I guess my question is, do you feel like that's what you're reading? It's
a weird ass comment that she said she made. Who makes that? Like we already know there's
you guys,
love.
this doesn't mean this sentence just means that they were doing something. She's not going to state that on television if they weren't having some flirty texts, flirty conversations, meeting up for a drink back in the city. Like it doesn't have anything to do with love specifically. It just has to do with that this was shot on August 30th. That confessional tells me that there was something going on. I don't think that Ciara is making up things out of, like, she's not going to tell the world that she's not going to use the word platonic. I'm sorry, that she's not going to use the word buddy because it means it insinuates something that's platonic. Like, why would you, does it make sense? Like,
yeah, I'm following exactly.
It's
what you're
not
saying.
love. It's like they're probably hooking up again, or like having, those kinds of exchanges that we're hooking up any second.
That would
like
still
at best.
Yeah, it still would lead you to believe like we're not just friends because you don't talk to your friend like that, or you don't do those things with your friends.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know where it is, but it's located north of Friendville.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I could even think of someone in my life from a gajillion years ago where it's like, you're not, yes, we could be friendly. We could go out and not hook up, but like we could also go out and hook up. And therefore it's really negating the whole like guise of us just being friends, because we're not just friends. We're just friends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was an interesting moment in confessional when she said that.
And then I have a photo that I just like, I had it saved from however long ago. Her and, I'm sorry, Amanda. I just wanted to, my notes app did not sync. So I can't find anything that I need at my fingertips. I just am having to remember from things I put together this morning. September 25th, there's a photo of West and Amanda out at just like together at a table by themselves, both having drinks. And the look that Amanda's giving, like I'll find, by the time I get to the edit bay, I will find that photo, and so you'll see it right here. But like, I don't know, like this, the rollout of these last few episodes, like I'm dying to know, like, Bravo, what is your plan for Amanda Batula? Because like you are doing her so filthy, like and she's a filthy, filthy girl, okay? But like you're showing it, and I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Everything is just pointing to all of the worst of the worst.
Yeah, 100%. Every scene she's in, it is just a matter of, yep, here it is. Okay, this is where she starts to sink her own ship.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's lost the producers, if they're so pissed at her because she's now thrown a wrench in and jeopardized
That's what I keep
all these other
thinking. Yeah.
Endeavors that they were doing together. And they were, up until Scamanda, I kept saying it, they were giving her the Queen's edit.
Oh my God. Yes.
Could not have looked better.
And she's such an asshole so many times throughout this episode that I'm like, how did we, like, listen, we've all clocked it. Well, okay, maybe not. I don't want to speak for everyone because I know that some people really, really like her, but I have always just clocked her as just being a real boring snooze who just sort of gets treated like she's the princess on the pee of the mattress. Like they're just carrying her around and she's like, oh, I can't use this mattress. Basically, I just have now every time I see Amanda in a scene, or even when I think back about scenes of her in, she really doesn't, she brings nothing, and she just like, no one hassles her about anything. No one, it's like she's the Hoff. No one's hassling the Hoff.
Yeah, she's just not servicing any of the scenes. And when she was prior, it was because of her drama with Kyle. And even still, it's her drama with Kyle. But like, I think we were all under the impression that this was totally on Kyle. Amanda's this innocent victim and in a crappy relationship that, yes, she said, I do. She chose him. She walked down the aisle with this guy. She has stayed with him. But I just think we were giving her a very big allowance as to who she got to show up and be or not be on the show. Like, not really bring any storyline besides Kyle cheating.
You know what is even like, because the more that I think about it, because everything right now is all in retrospect, all just like looking back at things. The more that I think about it, it's even worse. It's even worse for her because there are times that the show has not had great story, that they could have shown Amanda just doing her little bullshit things. And like, it could have been like, just, I don't know, just something to, it's not like this show has been always overloaded with story. You could have used those moments. And they almost found her so dull that even her bitchy moments weren't even like bitchy and, or like good, like juicy enough to even insert. Like, she really has just been like a useless friend of, but basically the whole time.
Top billing, sitting next to Andy at the reunions.
Via Kyle and via Paige.
Yes.
Is the only reason that we even know her last name, you know? Which I don't know. Somebody said the other day, I think it was Morgan Stewart, who I love and is like, I don't know why she's like all over every timeline that I have right now. I think she has a new-ish podcast. So
I'm
maybe
sure they're pumping it out.
So they're pumping it out. But she was saying something like, you know, not shilling for Amanda, but just saying like, everyone just needs to like fall back and like watch what they say. Like, heaven forbid something happens. And then what are you all going to do? You know, because she does seem like she could be in a very, and I could be giving her too much credit even now. As I say this, I'm thinking she could be in such a vulnerable state and like how horrible it would just, the pile on must be. But I don't even know if she even gets it. I don't even know if she gets that the pile-on is what it is. I think she's, because her attitude is just so like, I can't believe I have to deal with this, you know?
This is not, I don't know how this is going to come out, but when we first started talking about all this Scamanda stuff, right?
Yeah.
We said like, listen, nobody needs to be telling people to off themselves or any of this nasty stuff. Like, her cell phone number got out and people were texting her horrible things. Like, guys, we can be upset that she hurt someone that we have this parasocial relationship with, meaning Ciara and Kyle. And like, we really love Ciara and some people like Kyle. But in all seriousness, we were like, you know, you don't have to go so far. This is it. You know, we could just have a normal conversation about this stuff and talk a little bit of smack, right?
Yeah.
I get that not everyone's going to take that path in life.
Yeah.
With that being said, if I am someone who struggles with mental health and I am knowingly going to make a very detrimental decision that could throw a real wrench in my mental health plans, I'm not saying like, oh, you deserve this. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying like, if you suffer from mental health issues, why are you in a toxic relationship? If you, and I know that sounds so harsh because obviously like maybe if someone has mental health issues, they don't know how to see that they're in a bad relationship. They don't know how to pull themselves out of it. But like, Amanda doesn't seem like your average bear that's in one of these situations. Like, she had her friends saying, you don't have to marry this guy. Her parents, she could have gone to her parents. They seem very open and like, we will take you no matter what mistakes you make. Like,
Her dad said it wasn't a good idea.
Right. That's my point. Like, I don't think that she had nowhere to turn. And so then to just consistently be showing up in a way that's going to be harmful to your mental health makes me just say, what are you doing to help yourself? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and again, I'm not trying to come down on her for this. It's just, it's an interesting thing that Morgan said, and I really like her also. I think maybe my take is, no matter if it's Scamanda or anything else, we don't need to go for the jugular with people. We don't need to tell people to be taking a long walk off a shore pier. That's ridiculous. People are going to make mistakes. Let people live their lives. You can have your opinions and be upset about it without railing on someone to the point that they want to do something harmful. And then in the same breath, like you also have to be responsible for your decisions. And she wasn't, and she didn't care. And you can see in this episode, it so ties into like, well, if you thought that at one point in your life, Amanda, it was a real quick turnaround for you to get to the point where it's like, well, I'm going to have sex with West anyway. And sorry that I'm going to blow up this 6-year friendship to a girl that's been great and loyal to me. Like, choice consequence, boo.
No, I know. The whole reason that I brought this up was just because like sometimes like I think that, you know, on the surface, the worst things that you could say to her, like people might be thinking like those, like going so hard on her, is talking about the things that she did, which they are plenty horrible. But I'm talking about like, I would be even more like on the edge of a cliff because what I was just saying about her is that in retrospect, there were so many moments to catch that just made her this like just ridiculous little bratty bitchy princess that they could have showed, just like they showed all of Lindsay's bad moments. Every time Lindsay had an eye roll or anything to say about anyone, or just like her attitude, like that was Lindsay wears her attitude like on her, like, you know, if she's just like not here for this or whatever. They showed all of that because Lindsay was an interesting, like a very colorful person. Amanda is so bland and dull that like they didn't feature any of her bullshit. And I'm sure that there was plenty of it because you don't just wake up like this. Yeah. So she's been a idiot this entire time that had all these stupid moments that we could have all watched and been like, oh my God, she's the worst. But they didn't even feature them because that they were still that bland, banana boring.
If I had to guess, they're probably all the exact same thing too.
Yeah.
Like, it probably was that. Like, not that it wasn't planned, but like it was probably just the same thing over and over. Like how many cutting room floor pieces of her talking about the cheating are there?
Yeah.
And we've seen 1,000. There's 15,000 on the floor. Like, I'm sure it was just that and one other thing constantly, incessantly, until the editors and story producers were probably just like,
who cares?
Just cut her out. Please make her stop talking.
If she didn't have that thing, from that one thing I keep talking about from season 4, if she didn't have something where she was literally showing via action her disdain about not being the center of attention and not being the leading lady and whatever, if she didn't have a thing in her hand to smash on a table, then it didn't make the cut because it's just so boring. But like that, I think that is the only reason why that episode featured her so much, is because she literally got physical with her like princessery. This is such a trip to watch 10 years of this.
Full-blown temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Like the exact definition.
Yeah.
Do you know what I feel like really kind of points to what, or the point I was trying to make is, you know, when someone wrongs you, right? Let's say like I did something crappy to you, and then the way everything shakes out or whatever, now I'm the one like so upset and crying, and now you're comforting me when really I should be comforting you because I'm the one that wronged you. I feel like that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. I wronged you. Like I should be, it doesn't matter if I'm in my feelings and crying and whatever. It's like my energy should be put towards, how are you, Natalie?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I did that to you. How can I help you? Not consoling the wrongdoer.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, I am very sad that she has or not sad. Like I'm aware that she has mental health issues, and I feel badly that that's the case. I just feel like then you need to be aware of like, maybe reality TV is not the best place for me, or maybe I need to just operate a little bit differently because just like someone with celiac's not walking into Joe's Pizza and ordering a Sicilian slice and walking out the door. Like if this is something that you struggle with, you have to be the curator of your environment and what does and does not work for you. Instead, now we're all supposed to be apologizing to you like, oh my gosh, is that too much for you to deal with? It's like, were you thinking, was it too much for Ciara to deal with when you decided to basically backhand her with West's dong? Like,
oh, has anyone seen these photos? Like I keep hearing tell about them, but I've never seen anything. No one's
the
ever.
Pictures of West dong?
Yeah. Is that a real thing, or is that
serious? I'm joking.
Yeah,
no, like
some rumor.
But I've heard it everywhere, but not a single person that's talking about it is posting the photo, which thank you. But also like it's just making me wonder, like if everyone's talking about it but no one's posting it, like
I don't think you can post it. You get so in trouble for
Yeah.
just
It's like
basically
disseminating porn without.
Yeah, but even on
someone's
Reddit, like people on Reddit
Unauthorized.
don't give a you know?
I give a about that.
Yeah, I have been hearing the rumblings that there is some photo.
Well,
of his-
Harris, I feel like Harris could always get his hands on those things. Harris,
not
Did you get
literally.
your hands on that, Harris? Do tell.
Okay, so our next scene up though is what we were just talking about, where it's Bailey's 2-year anniversary party
Yeah.
that Levi threw.
Wearing leopard.
She's so amazing.
She really
Like,
is.
she's so great. I don't even know what to say. I'm so obsessed with her now.
I know. I think it might be why Levi gets to come back next year because
I
I
don't
think
think
that
Levi's coming back. I heard a thing that Levi wasn't invited back.
I heard that too,
Yeah.
but like I also like they're not filming yet. So like it's like until
That's
they're
right.
they all show
But they're
up
about
like
to. I mean, it's what is it?
I know, but
May?
like they all talk
a
about
couple
how like
months
sometimes
away.
they find out days before sometimes. I don't know. Listen, all I'm saying is that she is that new where she could find out last minute. I just feel like I feel like Bailey could be like, I need my best friend because
Yeah.
they're clearly best friends. Like they
Totally.
Like
But more like more Levi. We need more like, and I was like I said it 3 times in my notes of just like, I wish she, because I was still working under the like, oh, she's not coming back next year because that's what I'd heard.
yeah.
So I was like, that's such a bummer. I wish she would have talked more. I wish she would have been funny more. I wish she just would have, I don't know. And maybe she was, and maybe she got, just
Yeah.
maybe it just was boring and.
Or just like didn't service whatever they were trying to lean into. That's what I'm convinced of a lot of times too, is like finding out on Southern Charm that, what's his name? Whitner and Charlie went out on a date. Like, I'm sorry, but that to me, like I want to see that date.
Same.
So the fact that it didn't
Same.
get put on,
Most
Was banana cakes.
awkward date of all
Fine.
time, I guarantee.
that would have been, that to me would have been interesting to watch Whitner, because we all had the question all year, why is Whitner single?
Yeah.
That could have answered the question, you
Yeah.
know? So it wasn't like inquiring minds didn't want to know. Like we all wanted to know. So like,
I bet here's what I'm totally get. This is just popping into my head as being the creative person that I am. Here's how that date went. They went out. He took her to some probably douchey place. He talked the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. She got no words in.
He didn't ask one question.
Not one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except it's pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool, huh? That thing I did was pretty cool, huh? That's the only questions he's asking. I bet 10 minutes in, if that, she was probably like, nope. And like, we needed to like Whitner this year, and that would have
we?
just, well,
They failed.
In
So
hindsight, yeah.
show us the date.
But I bet you that's what happened. And they were like, we can't kill the guy straight up. Like, this is the worst date of all time. Because, like, that was my take halfway through, too. I was like, I think Whitner's a mansplainer, but to everybody.
Yeah.
And a little pompous. And is like, Shep has learned how to use his book smart and vocabulary and pompous attitude to be charming.
yeah.
Whitner's not, he hasn't cracked charming yet. He's still like, dude, you sound like an asshole, right?
Yeah.
That's not what mother says.
Listen, it would have been a
Okay,
great
bro.
montage of like where they just like show him just like, oh, and then in 1987 we were out at my grandparents'
would've-
thing,
yeah.
and then that brings us right into 1992,
And all her faces,
and like
cutting
and her
to
just
all her
being like
faces,
and
just
just like
being
drinking
like-
and being like, can I get another drink? Like I feel like they've done that to people before. Like
Yeah.
it could have been interesting. All I'm saying is that I think that it's a broad thing. Like if you're not airing that kind of stuff, then like. I don't know. I feel like Levi could just be as interesting as anyone else, but it just there
don't
was
know.
no room for
Yeah.
her, or they didn't want to lean into that, and I don't know.
After our Bailey Love Fest, because we do all love Bailey, we move on to the conversation that Amanda and Lindsay have.
Yeah.
Which I connected a dot here that I wasn't connecting earlier. I forgot how close Lindsay and Sharon were.
Yeah.
And Lindsay has abandonment issues because her own mom abandoned her. So obviously it cuts way deeper with
Yeah.
Sharon doing that to her. I did not remember that. Even with that still being the case, whether it's right or wrong, I know people in the comments were like very divided where it's like, nope, it's like it's your elder. And some people are like, screw that. If they're an asshole, they're an asshole.
That's why I think that people were like, it's so easy to be like, she shouldn't be mean to Sharon, and I'm like, no, she should be. Because of that, like, there's so much more. I feel like people forgot that, and
I
clearly
totally
you
forgot
just
it.
did.
I
So,
know I
yeah.
totally forgot. But
Yeah.
even with that being said, I still wouldn't because I was just like it's just brainwashing that I went through as a child. I'm not saying that this is the way to be.
No, but you're not Lindsay. That's
No.
the thing. People need to understand who Lindsay is.
Yes.
And what her past is and who this woman was to her. And then I think that you can open your mind to like how this happened and not be so like, oh, I can't believe she was such an asshole to her mom. And I didn't want her to be either because I don't want Carl to be mad at Lindsay and be like, you were such a to my mom on TV, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and but as far as just like put that aside, I think she had it didn't shock me at all. And of course she was going to do it. And there was no getting Lindsay to not.
I know that this isn't how Lindsay is, but I wish then she would have taken that moment to be like, listen, I'm a mom now. I understand things a little bit differently, and like roll into the conversation as to the reason I was so angry with you is because I don't have a relationship with my mom and we were so close and it meant so much to me.
Yeah.
So to hear you say those things broke my heart. And like and again, I know we're never going to get that, but that's what I would have preferred as opposed to like, because we don't want to see Lindsay just slip back into all of her old habits. Like a few of them, sure. No, I don't know. Keep it spicy, keep it weird. But I would love to see a little bit more. Like I want to keep seeing Lindsay growing because she can be a really great character on these shows if she does that. If not, you'll just be, it's your beat if you keep beating the same drum of the same drama. But listen, and she had every right to be upset with her because it was her marriage that they were talking about. And by the way, Sharon also was right. They shouldn't have gotten married. So it's like a very complicated, layered thing.
I think I mentioned this last week. I don't know if I did. I personally find Sharon to be someone who kind of beelines for cameras. Like she just seems real comfortable in a camera. She likes to talk about things on a camera, and just watching her even move through the crowd to get to Lindsay last week, she was eyelining the camera. Like you could see her like looking at the lens. Like, and so I think that Lindsay is also very astute to know that who Sharon is and that Sharon kind of does this. And I don't think that even like, I would love to see those moments from Lindsay because that would have just been like I would have loved to see her say that to Sharon because I would have just loved Sharon to kind of be like, oh God, yeah, I can't believe that I'm literally your only mother figure. I was going to be your mother-in-law. Like I'm not going to take the place of your mother, but like I would have been in your family as your mother figure going forward, you know. I would have liked to see that dawn on her and have like a moment to just let that sit with her. But I feel like Lindsay's like, I'm not giving her any more time. Like she's looking for this. I'm keeping this as short and like to the point and like then cutting off what I say. Like there will be awkward silences and hopefully she will then move along, you know? Yeah. So I think that I want to see Lindsay grow. Because I see her making those things. I'm with you 1,000% on that. I feel like this was a choice that she made to be like, this bitch can get off my show.
Yeah, I'm not
now.
giving it any oxygen.
Yeah.
And I see that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I see it from both sides. I just like the growth cheerleader in me, which I know is super corny, but whatever. It's who I am. Deal with it.
No, just wanting Lindsay to even if it's growth or just wanting her to say something that would put Sharon in her place a little bit. Like either one of those things would have been great for me.
By the way, it would have been a great moment for Lindsay. Like Lindsay would have come out on top if she did handle it that way, 100%. Because you can't argue with that. Yeah. And then Sharon, who I do believe is a good, caring, and loving mother, obviously, like look at her connection with Carl, whatever. I think she would have heard that. Yeah. And whatever. Anyway.
The other thing was when they flashed back to that, I forgot that the last time that she saw her was at that not the baby shower, at the wedding shower, and that Lindsay said to her, and there's like 30, I don't know how many, like she had a pretty lovely event, that shower, probably 30 girls sitting at tables and whatever. And Carl, of course, should not have told her that right before the shower. Like that's on Carl, that's stupid. But then for Lindsay to say like, so Carl mentioned to me that you had some concerns and whatever, was like the perfect moment. This is why I don't like Sharon, because it was a perfect moment for Sharon to be like, oh my God, Lindsay, I love you so much. You're gonna be my daughter. I don't have a daughter. I can't wait for you to be like, I already think of you that way. This is your day. we can talk about, like, of course I have concerns. I'm a mom. Like, I would just want you guys to be happy. I want all the things for both of you. But she didn't do any of that. She was just like, well, yeah. Like, she just really took that like moment for herself. And it's like, Lindsay looks so beautiful. And she, like I said, like they kept panning to the people sitting, and it was like, just to kind of reinforce that, like, this was such a beautiful event. And like, you couldn't even just pull it out of yourself to be like, this is not the time for that. I love you so much. We can talk about all those things later, because like, of course, everyone, like, she just could have spun it differently, and she couldn't, because she wanted to be the lady that, like, I do have concerns, you know. Listen, like, off, Sharon.
I agree with you that was not the right time or place to be acting that way. However, if we go back to Real Housewives season of Atlanta, like season 3 or 4, when Cynthia Bailey is on the scene, I'm going to explain it to you. Don't worry.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Oh, wait, no, because you were saying you don't watch.
No. I just mean, like, you're going to give me an analogy of a show I haven't seen, so I don't know.
Well,
I'm just going to nod and smile.
Okay. Well, but it's not even an analogy. It's just pointing like to a mom doing the exact same thing. Cynthia was going to marry this guy, Peter, and her mom and sister didn't want her to get married so much. And the wedding was televised. Okay. They hid the wedding certificate or whatever, like the license that you have to like sign or whatever. And Cynthia's like, where is it? And finally the mom and sister are like, okay, we'll give it to you. Like, people, if they think that you shouldn't get married, your family members, like, they'll do gnarly stuff. I'm not saying that it's cool to do, because clearly, like, let people do what they want to do as long as they're not hurting somebody else. But like, Sharon was in the camp of Cynthia's mama. Like, I really don't think you guys are going to get married. And I don't care if I look like an asshole on national television telling you. Again, I agree with you. Not the time or the place. This is, let her have her event. You're not getting married. But I think some people just can't help themselves.
Yeah, and I think she's a camera whore, so that's why.
And that could be true too. Yeah, totally.
Not for an old lady.
And they do touch on the fact of what we've been saying all season, that like Carl is so conflict averse. He cannot speak up for himself.
Yeah.
In any like real way.
I don't remember which one of you said something about Carl going to Lindsay and being like, "Oh man, why were you mean to my mom?" In like, that would have been the most amazing thing ever. Now knowing that Lindsay's still waiting for Carl to apologize for his mom being a dick to her. If he was like, "Oh, why were you mean to my mom?" She'd be like, "What? Why was I? You haven't even apologized to me for your mom being a dick to me at my thingy and make me a sandwich." It would be the most amazing thing ever. Like, how clueless would Carl have to be to come in and do that?
He would never.
Well, he wouldn't, but it would be so funny to me if he did. Knowing now, again, just knowing now that she's still waiting for this apology, that Carl's probably like, if you told Carl that, he'd probably be like, "What? What do you, I don't understand what?"
Wait, are you talking about when she says Carl's had all this time to have a meaningful conversation about this? I couldn't tell if they were talking about, so you wanted Carl to come to you and have a meaningful conversation about the conversation your mom had with me at the baby shower?
Lindsay thinks his mom was mean to her.
Yeah.
First, she started it, basically, is what this is.
Yeah.
I think that she's also was expecting Carl to be on her side now, right? At the time, not now. But
at
then,
the time. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And he never came and was like, "Mom, dude, why the hell, like, I told you that, you remember, why'd you tell Lindsay that?" Like, he never reprimanded his mom that I remember.
No,
And
yeah.
she's upset about that. He never got to go back to his lady and be like, "I'm sorry." He's probably looking at her, no offense. "I'm sorry. Like, I told my mom she's a dick," you know what I mean? Like, my mom says some shit about you and she's getting a mouthful, right?
Yeah.
So that didn't happen. And I think that that's what Lindsay's upset about, is you didn't defend me. You didn't, and not even an apology. You never even came and had a conversation like, "How are you feeling about that?" I did tell her, "I'm sorry, I told," whatever. I think.
And that is Lindsay's big thing. Like, historically, if you go back, it's like, you didn't have my back.
Yeah.
Because she
the mom
has
thing.
real abandonment issues, which
No.
I get.
I totally get it. And the more like, and I just slammed a drink, so I'm probably getting just pissier just like thinking about it. like Lindsay
Lucky me.
is a handful. Do not get me wrong. She is a handful, but she is going to make a beautiful life with someone. She is going to be a powerhouse partner. And I just think that there's probably so many dumbass dudes walking around New York that if only they could pull their heads out of their asses and see, like, this woman is on the market and she will make your life pristine. Like, I just think that this is a partner, and she needs someone to go to war for her, and she will go to war for you 10 times over. But like, it's these little things, like watching that or knowing that Carl never talked to her about whatever happened with his mother. And because she says it, she says, they're always going to be the victim, so I'm always going to be the villain. And like, it's so true. Like, Carl was truly at his worst when he was with her, because like, it would have just been, I just wish that Carl would have grabbed his balls in that situation and just realized, like, Carl's always going to be on this like life,
Mayberry.
you know?
Yeah. Mayberry.
And I like Carl. I'm so glad that Lindsay doesn't have to deal with him anymore, but I'm watching Lindsay react to him kind of throughout this whole thing. I've been watching him react to her for several episodes now of just like, I think that Lindsay's having she's kind of bored, doesn't have a love interest, she's probably realizing I'm really single momming it up right now, just like Danielle told me. It was said in that confessional, like, some things are coming to fruition for Lindsay, but I think that I just think that Lindsay deserves an equal, at the very least, partner, and she will still bring 10 times more. You know, I hope she finds a guy I hope she finds a Italian man from New Jersey that like has his balls in his hands, like doesn't let him go. It's just walking through life with his balls in his hand, like just waiting for someone to come at him, because I just think she deserves someone like that. I'm not mad at Lindsay at all anymore.
It's making me think about like partnerships, and like, some people need a partner.
Yeah.
Some people need a companion. Some people need a buddy, right?
Yeah.
Like, Lindsay needs a partner.
A full on
A fucking
like war
50-50, 100-100, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like, we're here's what you do, here's what I do. Together, we are Thundercats, or whatever it is, you know?
We're going to walk in a room and everyone's going to be like, oh my God.
Yeah, they're
Oh my
going to
God,
get
oh my God,
nervous.
oh my
They're
God.
going to feel a vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Ciara clearly needs a friend. She, like, her partner is going to be her friend, her best friend. It's a buddy,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like, I think Kyle needs a companion. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you could probably
it's
list a
true.
few of these
Yeah.
archetypes and be like, oh no, what do you want? You know, you guys,
Yeah.
people should probably try to figure out what they want, in that sense of like, oh no, I need a partner. I got big ideas and big plans, whatever. I need a companion. I need a friend. I need a this, and then go find a person that also needs that other thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. A little advice from the old guy.
No, that's totally true. That's really good. That's
Great.
very
Thanks.
true.
Like and subscribe.
Hype it and tell a friend. Or your companion or your partner.
Yeah.
So the next scene is we get to the house for the last time this summer or ever, because it's for sale.
No, they already said they're going to a new house. If it comes back, they're ditching that. That
You
house
would
is
have
gone.
to, 'cause, yeah. Okay, so Ciara's dressed up as something hilarious and
The Lorax from Dr. Seuss.
it looked familiar.
And I knew that it was Lorax, but why?
Maybe to be
Ciara's
funny.
crazy in the best possible way on planet Earth.
It's so good.
Like-
It's
No,
so good.
fine, but it just would have been cool to be able to like connect the dots of like why that.
I think that's why it was cool.
Oh, I wonder if she bought the costume for another party and then it like didn't work out, and so she's like, "It's the last weekend. I'm wearing this thing. I spent $200 on it or something." You know?
I totally understand. I think I'm going the other way.
I am too.
I appreciate. I don't want zero context and water guns and Lorax and and you're not
she
going to
just bought
explain
this
the
thing out of
goddamn
nowhere
thing?
for
Don't
nothing.
care. Yeah,
No, she bought it for something
I'm sure
and
she
needed to
did,
use
but
it.
I think it's funny that no one. She was just like, I'm going to put on a Lorax costume and shoot people with water guns. Like,
It was so good.
you are mental, and it's amazing.
I also thought it was so wild that the one person that really needed to get pelted with the water gun didn't, because she was wearing suede. And she came in
She would have
all complaining,
lost her mind.
Yeah.
She came in,
whiny.
didn't get squirted, and was still a dick about it.
Oh
She's
yeah,
such
that's
a
what I was talking
brat.
about. Like, if that isn't just like the theme of this entire 10-year span with this bitch, like,
Yeah, the irony is just
yeah, Like every
Wild.
single person that came in got drenched and she got nothing.
And laughed and giggled and took it and had so much fun with it. And nobody said anything. Even Kyle and Ben just were like, oh shit. Like literally were drenched.
Yeah.
The house was drenched. Like what a absolutely fun moment. And for you to be the dick that's gonna now go around and be like, no, whole house is wet. Jesus Christ, you guys. Please take a squid. Off, dude. I would have dumped buckets of water on her stupid jacket.
Yeah, that was such a boner killer.
Yeah.
You guys,
Total boner
I
killer.
cannot believe that we have to watch her in a whole season of another show. And like as a lead person, like I got something again, like something today was like, oh, here, meet the new cast of whatever. We know these people, except for like obviously the new people we don't. But she's the second one that's listed. She's the second one that comes out. Like she's top billing of this show. Like, I can't believe that we have to watch, and this is to no fault of Bravo's. They've cut this, they've shot and cut this entire thing before all of this came out, and like she's just going to be in these scenes, like sitting on her couch, like telling you, "Oh, you'll never believe this." I want to be like, I don't give a shit about any of this. I don't believe anything that you say, you dumb snatch.
What's so crazy though is we would have wanted to if all this
Totally.
happened.
And like, I can't believe like they are. I think that is why they are doing her so dirty in this, because they're just
100.
like, we don't have any choice. You were in every other scene. We can't cut you out without literally almost like shooting an entire other series of a new person, and just like trying to figure out how to like flop them in somehow, like
For the city, in the city, you mean?
yeah, like she's not just a person on this like 8-person cast. She is the A story in it.
Yeah, and the whole like we were complaining at the beginning of this summer that we were like, oh, we're gonna watch a whole season of these two getting divorced. It's gonna suck. Turns out, nope. It's actually season 1 of In the City where that happens, and this has been pregame divorce. Like, I don't know what the hell is this we're getting drinking. I don't.
Yeah, no, this is nothing compared
This is
to
nothing.
Are we
the
gonna
whole
have her
season.
in the city?
Are you drunk right now?
Yeah, no, I want to. I just you don't assume it makes an ass out of you and me.
Yeah, when this thing is over.
I think they're going to do the finale of Summer House, and I think it's going to roll into the city. And they confirmed today that there's going to be 3 Summer House reunions.
If there wasn't, Bravo would have been bombed. Honestly, like we need 3 months of a reunion.
Yeah.
If this leaked audio is telling us anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're at the house. They're water gunning it. KJ, Carl announces like, oh, it's National Beach Day, so we're going to go to the beach. Thanks, Dad. Lindsay announces this is the 2-year anniversary of their breakup. And then KJ, it was really cute because like all the guys were having a moment. And KJ in his confessional just said, this summer has really like changed me for the better in these relationships. Like I've been looking for some bromances, and obviously we'll talk more about it when we get to the dinner. I got such a soft spot for this kid. Then we are in the car real quick on our way to the beach. And I think it was Ben. Ben was like, oh, Amanda's back this weekend and she seems to be in good spirits, mate. And West was like, really? Because she came in and all she did was complain. And all I thought was, well, that's your future, buddy.
Yeah, get used to that,
Yeah.
That's why you're back on Raya.
This whole thing was just so not thought out well by this dude. I mean, nothing. I don't think anything.
Sometimes listen, I've not been in this position. I hope to never be in this position. That being said, if I was dating my buddy's ex-wife's best friend of my ex-girlfriend situationship person thing, but I needed to hide it, and I was labeled a boy because I was on a TV show, I'd probably be sliding into all the DMs, definitely letting this girl, Maya, whatever her name is,
From Southern Charm?
No, his girlfriend, be like, no, we're girlfriends. No, you and me, we're 100. And on the set, and slipping and telling everybody, and calling Mia and being like, oh, you're fun. You want to have dinner? And having Mia, because she's loudmouth.
Mia from Southern
Hospitality. Be like, oh, he asked me out.
There's
a lot of Mayas and Mias.
There's no Mayas. There was a Maya from a Summer House.
Okay, don't say there's no Maya.
There was a Maya.
All Maya.
Summer
She's
House
the best
from
of
a while
all the
back.
people in all the worlds and all the lands. She's number 1.
Maya?
And then it
Over
goes
Mia?
from there.
Maya over Mia?
Hold on.
Unfortunately,
What?
yeah. Maya was my favorite. Maya is my favorite Summer House person. I've said this always.
No, you have. I just thought Mia trumped her.
Literally never
Mia's
heard you
a different
mention
type of
Maya's name one time in my
I'm
life.
in love with
Really?
Mia.
Maya?
Yeah, we've talked about
Yeah,
her.
no.
I know
talked
that
about
we've
her a lot.
talked about her. I didn't know we talked about her where you were like
Yeah, I said it
professing
multiple
your
times.
love for
Check the tape.
Maya.
A lot last season too. She's been my favorite since before this, but it locked in when her and Andrea were in the kitchen and Andrea was cooking and she was like, "Oh, you're a really good cook. Did you learn how to cook from your grandma or from your nona?" And he was like, "No, my nona couldn't really cook." And she was visibly shook and was
that
like,
was Gabby.
"Oh, you can't say that kind of stuff out loud." It was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Was that not
she's my
Gabby?
favorite. It was
No,
not.
girl, Gabby didn't cook. Maya was a cook because she was dating
did
that guy who was
cookies.
on Top Chef, and she was also a cook, and then she started the cookie company.
Right, but I
she
didn't think
makes
that had
cookies
anything
now.
to do with her just saying you can't call your grandmother a bad cook.
I don't think so either. I didn't think it was
Oh
funny.
no,
like,
because you said they were in the kitchen cooking.
he
that's
had
why.
made dinner or was going to make dinner that night, and she was like, "Oh, you like to cook?"
Oh,
Da, da,
got
da.
it.
And he was like, "Oh, I love to cook, and this and that." And she's like, "Oh, your nonna taught you how to cook."
Okay.
Anyways,
Well, I can confirm.
what the shit were we even talking about? This is the
No, we were
most
talking about how
craziest episode we've ever done.
we were talking about how Wes clearly didn't think any of this through, and
Yeah.
he's got Maya and Mia and
So
Mahia.
yeah, I'm thinking he did think that
Miha.
part through.
Not Mahia.
If they were dating
that
or
girl that made the tie out of the horsehair.
Miha.
Oh, I thought when what's his name said it, I thought he said Mahia.
Wes said that?
No,
Of course
no,
you
no,
would,
no,
you
not
fucking
Wes.
idiot.
Our sweet Harris. I thought
Oh.
he said it. I don't know what
a
her
boots
name
on the
is.
ground. Anyways, I'm just saying, if I was in that position, I would probably be like, I should probably make it seem like I'm not dating my buddy's ex-wife's best friend of the girl I used to hang out with on this TV show.
Yeah.
And I would let the world know that I was free game. So I think he is thinking about everything.
Yes, 100%.
And I think Amanda's probably in on it because even in one of the leaked things, she was like, he was dating other people. And we didn't know what to do. So she clearly knew.
Yeah.
And it could have been in the rule book, in the pamphlet that she made for his dumb ass to follow.
Well, Lindsay then chimes in saying, like, I really believe that Amanda deserves more than what she's getting. And the thing I kept thinking this episode, because Lindsay was going so hard for Amanda in this scene, and then obviously in some of the other ones, specifically the end scene. Lindsay doesn't like to be wrong. And Lindsay usually has a good read on people or situation, but like she's not good at being wrong. Like she goes down swinging. She's not like, got it wrong, really sorry. What like she's like, but let me tell you why I got it wrong. It's like, you just got it wrong, girl. Like who cares?
Yeah.
And so I wonder what she's feeling, thinking, whatever now, and her presence at the reunion is going to be very interesting, and how she's going to do kind of bob and weave through that, because her horse was Amanda. She said, she goes, listen, I've been friends with Kyle the longest of anyone in this house over Carl. I mean, I've known him longer than I've known Carl. I love him, but like Amanda deserves more than what she's getting. And I wonder if Lindsay's going to be like, I did not realize the depth and breadth of what was actually going on between these two.
Amanda was getting a full ginge.
I think that Lindsay just thinks that Amanda, which we all thought, is going to be the breakout star of this show, kind of alongside Lindsay. Like I've always looked at In the City as Lindsay's show, because I just think that like there's always got to be a person that's like storming the gates with like an idea and like calling everyone. It's like they're getting an alarm notification to like time to follow up. And I think that she's that person. I think that Kyle's that person too. And I think that knowing that I'm doing this show with them, and Kyle and Amanda are splitting up, and they're going to feature Amanda in her new life and taking on this world like brand new, I think that she is kind of helping the show gear up to what the intent of the show was. And because Lindsay's no dummy, I just don't like, she's never stood up for Amanda, like maybe a little bit here and there, but nothing like, she's always seen Amanda for who she is. Danielle's the one that called it out, and people are asking her now, and like in interviews, they'll ask her like, you know, what do you think about how Danielle kind of called this out for however long ago? And she says that Danielle has a witchy sense about her, that she does this all the time, that she's always like, she has horrible delivery with it, but she's always right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But listen, it still doesn't change. Yes to everything you're saying, but it still doesn't change the fact that like she bet on Amanda.
No.
Right?
I'm saying that I think that she bet on Amanda because Lindsay is servicing their project is starting next, that
100.
she's the one that's been spearheading. So I don't think that she necessarily will say, like how you say she doesn't want to say I got it wrong.
Yeah.
She'll probably say like, well, you know, I was showing up to work, you know, like I'm trying to work with the network and trying to work with the, like, just because.
But she won't say, like, this is what I'm curious,
she
because she
can't
can't
say
say that,
Yeah.
right? So like, I'm just, as I kept watching her like double and triple down on Amanda, for every reason that you're saying, you're 100% correct in my opinion. What's she gonna say at the reunion? Is she just gonna pretend that like everything is such a clusterfuck that no one's gonna be like, well, you know, all season you were really thinking that Amanda was getting the raw end of the deal, and it turns out she was getting West's end of the deal.
I think that she might say something like, almost like, if she's not, obviously this would go against, like, obviously she doesn't like to admit to be wrong, but like she could just kind of lean into like, you really pulled one over on everyone. Like you really, like I was really going to bat for
Nailed
you,
it.
really
That's
trying to like kind of just take that, like, wow.
You even got me.
Wow, Amanda, like I really went out on a limb for you. This is my friend of over a decade, and we started this house together, and like I don't know how you sleep.
100%. That's it.
Should do that.
That is
that's
brilliant.
if all this stuff was happening. Like again, if this stuff started in whatever December, January, February, and things got serious in February, then like what Lindsay could say, like this didn't happen. It hadn't happened yet. Sorry, Ningy. Maybe it has, but maybe it hasn't. If it hasn't, then like she still thinks that Amanda's being treated horrible by this guy, right?
Well,
she
no.
has no idea what's going on or what's about to come down the road.
She could also, though, have learned, and we'll get there, but like I had a real aha moment at this dinner table scene at the very end. And I was like, oh, I wonder if there's just going to be some stuff that maybe will change, like how we're all watching now, right? Saying, I didn't realize Amanda was this person. And now I am picking up these things that she's doing that's really doesn't line up with who she was edited to be prior, right? And so I wonder if she could then also do the double down on like, I had your back because I didn't know this was what was going on with Kyle, because Kyle was a gentleman and he never told me any of this stuff was going on. And you just were, complaining about the fact that, he's never home and he cheated on me 7 years ago. And, by the way, we don't know if you cheated on him 7 months ago. Like she could be just doubling down with the take that you said more so. But how about this? We're going to watch and find out. We now get to the beach. And there's a ton of different break-off conversations from this. So I'm just going to go down the list. And if anyone has anything, chime in. Carl and West chat for a second. And Carl's like, hey, is that weird watching, a girl that you briefly dated with KJ? West says, no, not at all.
Couldn't
and
give a shit.
by the way, that tracks because he has no emotion for anyone's relationships. Just doesn't matter to him. Put it where you want to put it, I guess. West, TD. Then after that, Jesse and Ben talk about where Ben's relationship is at. It's funny because I'm not into Ben. He just doesn't do it for me as a character on this show. With that being said, there clearly are certain interesting things about him. Like his dad was really religious. And when he, I guess, lost his virginity to some girl when he was a child, his dad didn't talk to him for, 3 years or something insane.
But he didn't even specify that was it. When he said like it was an indiscretion.
Yeah, an indiscretion,
which makes me wonder. Like, did you knock up your high school girlfriend and she had to get an abortion or something? Like, it just doesn't seem like he didn't talk to him for 2 years. I assume if you're a super churchy, you stayed married to your wife. I assume that parents still together. You're living there. 2 years? You didn't
That's
talk to your
crazy.
son for 2 years because you found out they're having high school sex? Like that's I don't know what it was, but I thought that he didn't name what it was. He just called it an indiscretion. And like I'm peaked. I feel like it's had to have been worse than just like finding out that your high school son, who's like very attractive, was banging his high school sweetheart. Like it feels worse. Look, listen, I'm not trying to spread rumors. I'm just saying that's a lot. You don't speak to your kid who you live with for 2 years.
And this is what my point is with all of this. Like, that's an interesting story. I think people could benefit from hearing that, or like really find something in there being like, oh, I went through something similar. And I feel like Ben kind of spent all season trying to ride other people's stories, being combative, but in weird places, when it's like, it always just proves to be, if you just sat there and were interesting in the way that you're interesting, we would be more interested in you. But when you try to like, not that he was trying to produce a storyline, but like kind of, and like getting his girlfriend there, and he's not dating, but he was dating her beforehand. Like it seemed like Ben was pushing to the forefront of this season what he wanted us to know about him, as opposed to showing up and just being like, this is who I am, this is where I'm at, this is what has happened in my life.
Yeah.
And I just think that's part of the reason why I didn't really gel to him as a character.
I like him. I think he's that. I'm not 100%, but like he's grown on me. I'm fine. I'm fine with Ben. I'll take him for another season just to see. I think he's. I feel like he's kind of goofy in his interviews. He's super goofy,
So goofy,
and like, but like in a not so bad way.
Yeah.
And then in real life, he's got these like moments where at the end where he's kind of stands up for Kyle a little bit to try to talk about the manager thing. Like, so he has these moments where he's super supportive and like adulty and like gives good advice. Like I like how KJ and Dara talk, but it's more like kids talking. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful. Just like kids talk differently now, amazingly, and so communicative. Ben seems like an older guy giving advice. I don't know how to explain it. But he has those moments, and I like those moments. And then I like his goofy interview moments because I'm like, okay, I want to see that goofy guy and that goofy girl just go be goofy together, right? That would be interesting, I think. But then he still has these moments too where he's weird. He's just weird, and I'm like, why are you being weird? Just
I'm not interested
pick
in them
one.
as a couple. Like to follow them.
Yeah, I am. She
Well, which is
doesn't bug
great.
me
You
guys,
anymore.
he's not.
No, she doesn't bother
he's
me. I don't
only-
dislike her. I'm just not interested in it.
You hate
This-
both of them. You
I don't
made it
hate-
clear that you hate them both.
I do not.
No, I hate him ever since he was mean to Bailey, because I just think you got to be a real son of a bitch to be mean to Bailey when you know that she's been crushing on you this whole time. Like, it's been the house joke that she's just like following you around like a puppy dog. I will never get over that. That is that. But I think that the only reason that he is even acting the way that he is now is because he has been lying this entire time. They were together before this. And so he didn't know how to have a confessional. He didn't know how to have a talk that sounded like he was being real.
Yeah, you're
now
probably
that the
That's
secret's
interesting.
out, and now that like she can be there, and like his life is public now, and it's not like a big secret. Now he's like all wonked out and like boop, 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 like, which is like, I already don't like that. I liked you because you were hot. There are some characters that I just think like, listen, Craig Conover can get away with so many things because he's very attractive. Ben, you can't counteract that hotness with like doing your weird little, I don't know. Ever since he did that weird confessional last week, I've been at him for a minute, but now I'm like, I don't know what your appeal is. And I think that he's only acting normal and vulnerable now because his little secret doesn't have to be like kept under his little pillow anymore.
Yeah, I can buy that.
After this, we go to a conversation that, quite frankly, made my head explode. And I think my last note was, I don't even know what to say, guys. This is when Mia and Amanda are talking. And I know you had something you wanted to bring up about this conversation. The whole thing to me, I don't know. I don't know. Here's what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to shut up. Kidding. I'm never going to shut up. I don't know how you go from being that girl in that beach chair, talking to Mia, saying, I would do anything for her. She's a special person that needs to be treated so specially, or like, with such almost kid gloves on because not kid, right?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. With kid gloves on because she is so precious. And if she just gave me a look, I would dump West in a New York minute. No, you wouldn't. And I just love her so much, and I don't trust him with her heart. And nothing would make me happier in the entire world than if they got back together, but he needs to be ready for it. That to what we heard leaked from the reunion, and just your actions, even if there was no leaked audio, this is not the same person. I don't know how to reconcile this. This has made my head explode.
I got nothing. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm so confused. This is so psychotic behavior. Because at this point, I still don't think they're banging. But at this point, I think that she is 100% locked on.
100%
to West. Like, I maybe they're banging. I don't know. But I don't. I do believe that she's locked in. Gun sights on. It's happening. She's taking down this guy. So I don't understand anything that's happening. If it's some weird defense mechanism or I don't know. I don't know enough about crazy ass people to know what she's doing, but it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Stuff. Yeah.
She was never.
I also don't think Mia's buying a word of it.
No, Mia is.
I don't think she is. I think every time they cut to her, she was just like, "Yeah, dude, totally."
No, I think she was buying it.
I don't think
it's
so.
just how she was telling, just like how she was telling Ciara, whatever last 2 episodes ago, whatever. I think Wes is in love with you. Mia is. I think listen, because I think Mia's very intelligent, very smart, very good friend, very astute to people. Like I'm not trying to say that things like get by her. I have to chalk it all up to like that she's new with these people. All she's seen is what we've seen on TV, and we never took Amanda for anything but just being a boring who cares. Like aside from that was her worst offense. Is that like I don't know like if we ever thought Amanda really had a real offense except for just being kind of annoying, you know, and whatever. So like I think that Mia's just going off of being brand new and taking everybody kind of at face value and at their word because she doesn't have any reason to not yet. I'm sure once that happens, Mia springs into action and is not going to buy your shit again. But right now, we just have to remember she's brand new. And because now I just know that like Amanda never was who she was edited to,
who we thought she was
to believe.
Yeah.
Like who she was portrayed, whether it was her own portrayal or whether it was just how she was edited. I don't know. She was not that person. I need to find a thesaurus for diabolical. Like how because that's the word that I just want to keep going to because she's a straight up sociopath. Like who says these things? Like there was a moment. Okay. First of all, that conversation started with Mia asking her, "How was your weekend last weekend?" And she goes,
"Best weekend of my life." So dumb.
That's your husband, and it's the best.
No, she said it because they said it last week. It was Wes said it was the best weekend of his life. Kyle said it was the best. It was a fucking dig. She was getting back at it. It was a revenge comment.
No, that's totally true. I never thought about that. That's so good.
Brilliant.
That's all she. That's the only reason. It's it came out so she didn't even get to the end of her question.
Which just goes to show how petty she is.
Yeah, she's such an asshole. Face. And that's why she arrived in the bitchy mood that she was in because she clearly didn't come last week. And because like, listen, I'm not saying that this whole thing isn't real, but like when you are spending bajillions of dollars on a production, like you got to know what's on the call sheet for next week, what's happening, like what kind of conversations are like, this is episode 14 and 15. This is the last weekend of the season. So like, we know what we got to tie up. I'm sure that there was a Zoom about this. I'm sure there was a, like there's like, it's as real as it can be when you've got a crew of 75 people around, like having to show up to shoot this. So like, she obviously knew that the last 2 episodes were going to be about, tying up the Ciara and West. Like, are they going to finally put all of this behind them? So she didn't show up last weekend, but she's got to be here this weekend. So she knows this is still happening and now they're back to being friends. So I think that's why she arrived bitchy. That's why she arrived in a bad mood. That's why she walked in and was like, what is that? Just not pleased with how she knew things were going to go. What I've learned about Amanda just from this short amount of time that we have had to give her a second look is that Amanda wants to be the center of attention. Amanda wants to be the prettiest princess here. Amanda wants to be treated and bowed down to and put on a pedestal and not asked what everyone else is being asked and not just like not held to the same account. So I think that's why she arrived in that shitty mood. So first off, she says like, oh, it was the best weekend of my life. Okay. I didn't even think about why. I thought she was just acting like Kyle is like, shouldn't even really exist on this earth.
That's
like,
what I thought.
And listen, I didn't think Kyle should either before this, but like, and that's another reason why I'm also so mad at you, because now I'm looking at Kyle being like, oh my God, he was really so lovely to you in comparison to what he could have been, considering what we found you to truly be and who you really are. So that happens. And then she moves straight away from like, how was your week and whatever, to like, so how was drinks? She wants to get right into like how wants to find out what happened at drinks because Mia went and she says, and Mia's like, well, hey, you, because you totally ditched me. Like you were supposed to come. And Amanda says like, well, nobody invited me. I didn't feel like I was wanted. So right there immediately, if I'm with my friends of 10 years,
right.
Like, I'm not waiting for a formal test. She even goes like, oh, I'm looking at my phone. Oh, interesting. Nobody invited me. Like, oh, nobody has to invite you. You guys are a group of people that are going out for drinks after you're already at one event to another. So she's making a big deal that nobody invited her to this. She is obviously so uncomfortable and so pissed. And it's why I think she ended up like ditching out early because they're like, where'd you disappear to? So she's so irritated that like she knows that this like drinks thing is going to happen that she doesn't even probably say, she probably does an Irish goodbye, which I'm a fan of. But there's also when a person like me does it, it's because like I don't have anything to say. Like I'm going home because I want to go watch my shows. Like that.
My stories are on.
My stories are on. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. People know that like I don't have to get up early. Like I start working whenever I want to. Everyone knows this about me. So I don't have a good excuse. So I'm just going to Irish goodnight. And that's my thing. When someone like Amanda does it, she's weaponizing her presence. She wants everyone to then to be like, where's Amanda? What's going on? Where'd she go? Oh, and
so
then
the whole
everyone,
conversation.
the whole conversation is then about her. It's all centered around her. So for her to say like I didn't get the invite and then she goes into the whole thing about just like she cares so much about this and like I don't have any other words to like I don't have any words to speak that just say like she's one of the most horrible people on reality television because she has not been obvious about it. There are horrible people like Jax and like Tom Sandoval and like even Kyle, like because they wear their emotions all over them, but she has been hiding them all. And now you're just seeing like everything that you did was calculated. Every move you ever made was so calculated to either make people feel like you were this like little victim, baby bird who could not like, was just like, here to like help this guy that's just punching you around all the time and calling you a bitch ass loser or you're a bitch. I can't remember what he called her before, but like I sign on.
I co-sign that.
I co-sign that now. You're a dumbass bitch.
I think that she left the bar. I don't think it was. I think the invitation was just an excuse because obviously she couldn't say why she left the bar, but she kind of did. She wasn't happy that Ben asked Ciara and West out. Like that was the problem at Soft Bar. When she found that out, she started having a meltdown, a temper tantrum. Then all of a sudden she disappears and talks about, I didn't get the invite. And then said, well, I can't believe Ben and I can't. That's your gripe. Your problem is this dude and this new girl, this dude that wanted to bang you, apparently. I'm kidding. He totally did.
So we've been led to believe by you, but now I think that she thinks that everybody wants to bang her.
Oh, maybe. But like,
by the way,
that guy asked out your dude. Like he's now like, he's getting in the way of your, like I said, you're already locked in. Now any bogeys in that path, you're taking him out or you're getting really real upset about him, and just gonna be a little brat about it. I think that's why she left is because of that.
Totally.
Which is crazy because your husband was at that party.
Her even wondering why she didn't get an invite, though, it just made me remember like how you were like, no, when Sabrina said that thing to her a couple episodes ago, you thought that was like shots fired. And like, I was like, I don't know. I just because I was wanting her to really hold Amanda to account for it, especially when Amanda said like, that wasn't my story to tell. Like that was so friggin' annoying that I really wanted Sabrina to say something more. So I half paid attention to what you were saying about it because I didn't matter. What I want is what I want. And like, it doesn't like, if I don't get it, I don't really care what the reasons are.
Yeah, we know.
But now I'm realizing that like, how funny, Amanda, you didn't get an invite. If that's who you were looking for an invite from, Sabrina, because Sabrina is the one that is like kind of put all this into motion. If you're right about her, Mike, and that was shots fired, I see exactly who you are, and like I'm letting you know right now, you know, in a way, like I'm not going to yell at you about this, but like I know exactly, I see you. Then yeah, of course she wasn't going to. So I bet you Amanda got pissed about a girl who's not even on the show, basically constructing an event and then not inviting you, and you're supposed to be the number one girl in the group, you know.
How dare you not invite the pole position player?
Because you don't trust West. Like you can act like you do. You can be like, oh, I'm different. He's going to treat me different. But like Amanda is the same insecure girl she's ever been. 100%. Like, of course she's going to be walking home that night and getting or whatever and just being like, what's going to happen? Like, who knows what can happen? Like, I'm sure Ciara will probably come on to him and like, he'll probably just feel bad for her. Like, you can justify it in any way you want, but like, you know that something could happen on this date that you are not invited on. Another thing before we move on is that when she starts talking about this and she's talking about how like, you know, that West needs to like, you know, move with intention or whatever. Amanda's giving her whole spiel about all the things that West needs to, he needs to be careful and he needs to, because, you know, I just don't think that, like all the things. She then says something like, I mean, if they get back together, I couldn't give so happy. I would be so happy. Like she goes straight. She started to say. She
literally said, nothing in the entire world would make me happier than if this happened.
Right. But she started it off with, I don't care. Because that's the natural, that's like, she's trying to be like, I don't care. Like, because right now she's just trying to convince herself that like, whatever, he can do whatever he wants. I don't care. So she started to say that because that is the true her to just try to say that like, whatever, I'm me, he's him. Like, I don't care what he does. Like, I can't, but then realize, no, I'm in front of Mia right now, her best friend who's like obsessed with her. And so now I have to go, so happy. So it would be the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my whole life. But like, that's Amanda her mask is slipping here and there. And like, maybe I wouldn't have noticed that before. I don't know.
No,
but
we
like,
wouldn't have. That's the thing. It's like, it's been so subtle over all of these years that you're not picking up on it because the way that she has been edited, we're seeing who they've crafted her to be.
Yeah.
Not who she actually is.
Yeah.
So now who the real Amanda has stood up, right? And we're seeing who she is, or at least a big color of her rainbow. And now we can go back and rewatch us being like, oh, and that points to that also. And so does that. And so does that. And oh, there's something up here also.
Yeah. So I thought that was hilarious. And then
but it also makes me double down on Mia's not buying her bullshit. Like I'm when I'm looking at Mia's face halfway through that conversation and they're giving us just the looks that she was giving, and at the end she was like, yeah, totally. Like it to me it was, oh, you're not fooling Mia. Like whatever bullshit you're spewing right now, she's not, but she doesn't believe it.
Like Mia was feeling the lady doth protest too much.
Yeah, I'm not saying Mia knew that her and West were a thing.
Okay.
I'm saying that I don't think Mia believes. I think Mia maybe now starting to realize that Amanda is not. Like maybe Mia's having the Danielle moment of like,
something's off with you.
Something's off with you.
Yeah.
I don't believe what you're saying. And my little things going on. My spidey senses are tingling.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen unless somebody bad is around me.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got.
I saw those looks. I just didn't think it was Mia clocking her to be maneuvering in a way that was like West centric. I saw it as Mia was like almost a little like, all of that. Like, just like, I don't know if Mia was clocking that she was moving weird because of some shady shit. I think that she
No, that's what I
picked
just
up
said. I
on
don't
like,
think that too. I don't
Oh,
think
okay.
Mia was sitting there being like, "Ooh, I think that her and West are a thing."
Yeah,
I think
but
that
just like,
Mia
this is
was
a
just
lot.
getting the spidey senses of like, I don't believe what you're saying. All these things you're saying about Ciara right now, I don't believe it.
You're
I
doing
just
a lot.
don't trust it.
Yeah, you're doing a lot.
Not because of what, not because I don't know why. I'm speaking as Mia. I think that's what I was. She was just starting to be like, this is making me.
Okay, I think they got it.
This is
you
making
know,
me
like
feel
yeah, I
funny,
think that
you
they
know?
can't. Yeah, you got that, cameraman. Like okay, I think. Do we need to keep going? Like that would be the extent of it though, because I don't think that she picked up on Amanda's shenanigans, just because of what just in the last episode we see her just being so loving towards her, and so.
And then, who, Amanda? Towards
Amanda.
Ciara?
Yeah. The episode before where they were crying in the bedroom all together and
And Ciara leaves and Amanda twerks at the bedboard in front of Mia's face. Like, that would have been my first react to be like,
No,
okay,
everybody is-
weird, letting it go. Now we're at the beach a week later or whatever, 2 weeks later. And now you're like, Ciara's heart in the thing. And now I'm like, this is weird. You twerked on the bed the second she left crying in your lap. Now you're here telling me you're weird. You're weird. Like, this is weird. It's getting weird. Why are you being so weird?
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if next week Mia's like, you're being weird. What's
I
going
hope
on? Or
so.
something comes
oh,
of it.
that would be glorious.
Again,
if
I'm
she
not
clocked
saying
it.
that I'm not saying that Mia is clocking West. The
No, I
West,
get what you're
you know,
saying.
like I just don't.
She's just crying that something's rotten in the state of Denmark, but
She's
she doesn't know what it is.
starting to feel like Amanda is not to be trusted for some reason.
Yeah. Because after all of that, just about like not being invited and about that she would like Ciara is the most special person in this entire world and I would do anything. I would lay down my life and I would cut this dude off at the knees. I would never speak to him again. All she had to do is give me the look. And it was so
much. And I've never heard her about anyone else on this show go after their sig other. And I get that Wes is not her significant other at this moment, but he has been, right?
Yeah.
So that's the place she was coming from. It was like a friend that you hurt my girl and I'm going to come for you. I've never heard her speak that much. I've never heard her have someone's back that way.
Yeah.
It was very out of character.
Yeah, that was, and I don't know, man. You're a
Oh shit, Minnie, no.
Minnie.
Oh, Minnie.
I wish that. Wait,
The camera.
What camera was that? Your camera or the wide?
Why? That's the expensive camera. You wish nothing.
Well, but all she was doing was she.
It's a little fluffy
Okay.
ball.
Okay, I get it. But listen, just for the people at home that love a kitten, there's like a fuzzy mic on top of the wide shot. And so Minnie just went over and was like petting it, like, what's this fuzzy? And then she went in for a chomp.
Yeah, but you can't do the jump.
But it was so cute.
Yeah, it's real cute, Minnie.
So before we leave that scene, there's also the talk between Ciara and Kyle.
Oh my God, yes. I forgot. Okay, wait, so should we cut though and just do that? Do you want to finish?
I
Or is
feel
that a
like we
good
finished the beach scene and then we'll do back
whole
at the
thing is dinner.
house at
The dinner table.
Yes. Okay. So actually, before we cut for part 2, let's talk about the Kyle Ciara conversation, which really that one got me.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking. I think that, and listen, you can call Kyle an idiot all day long. I'm not going to argue.
I will. I'll return. I'll resume my normal, role as soon as Amanda is dead and buried.
Like, I really don't think he saw this coming. I think he thought there was, he still saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe that's a family thing or like that's not an option type, whatever. I don't know. But this dude is seriously shook. And when he found out that they were, when he was like, dude, I'm going to get all emo about it right now. When he asked her, have you had that conversation with her?
Hold on, wait. Should we talk about what the conversation was? Should we introduce what the conversation was?
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation that Ciara brings up with him is just like, listen, I heard you guys went to therapy. Let's talk about it. And Kyle has this take that, things are very much far from perfect. However, I'm glad, like, I got a little of Kyle in me where it's like, I understand my house is on fire, but have you seen the new mailbox?
Yeah,
Like he's very much trying to like pick out the positive in this dumpster fire of a situation that he currently finds himself in. And so he's trying to say like, listen, I know that we're not really on the same page, but at least we're in the same library and like so maybe something good can happen from this. And Ciara says, yes, sure. But hear me out. What do you think about maybe doing like a trial separation and maybe this could be good because you live together and I know you don't work there anymore, but the office is just down the hall and that's a lot of time together, especially if you're not getting along well. And when she brings that up, this is what Mike was talking about where, Kyle looks at her and just says, so is this like a new thought that you're just having right now that you're sharing with me? Or have you talked about this with Amanda? And good on Ciara. It's why I love her. She's so honest. And she just was like, no, we've talked about this. And the way you saw his heart fall through his asshole.
The way that she hesitated to even answer because she realized in that moment, like, oh, he has no idea.
I think there's also a little bit of like,
oh, God.
yeah, I guess that's weird that I talked to like, I think, there's so many emotions in that little hesitation. It was an interesting one. When he asked that, my heart broke. And then when he got back and he just buckled over and was like, I can't even remember. This is scary. He said, this is scary. That's gnarly, dude.
I know.
Like, that's gnarly. Like, he's scared. He's not pissed. He's not mad. He's not sad. He's not all. He's going to be all those things. Yeah. But right now, he's scared. Like, that is heartbreaking, man. This poor dude, and I never thought I'd say that, but I feel so bad for this guy.
And then to go when they go, and I know we're going to get into this in the next episode, but here's your cliffhanger. When we go back to the house and she just completely ignores him.
It's so
I'm
gross.
like, you're kind of a monster.
She's such a monster. And let me tell you, so I don't have an issue with like everything that I say on this when I make these predictions. Like I hope I'm very clear. Like they're just gut vibes. They're just like what I think is more. There's more of a chance that it's this way than it's this way. Wouldn't care at all to be wrong that they weren't split completely. I think that Amanda was totally out. I feel like they were living in separate places, but I do think that Kyle, and I probably said this the whole time, I think that Kyle, it just doesn't quit on anything. I think he does his relationships, his marriage, his friendships, his businesses, maybe stuff with his family. I don't know, probably all in the same way where it's just like, you just keep going. You wake up every morning and you try again. Like you don't let anything die. If things were not at all what my gut was telling me, which is that these two have decided that they are not together anymore. If that's the case, and you still went to couples counseling with this motherfucker, like, again, needed thesaurus for diabolical. Like, it's just, that's insane because his reaction when she says, how's it going? And he says, well, we just went to couples counseling. So like things are looking up, but like if that was a true reaction, that's a true thing that he said. I can't believe because she is like, I have like gun to my head. Like she was out probably a year ago, like that's been dead and buried for her for however long. If Kyle is still under the assumption that like this is still workable and you took him to a marriage counselor and gave him any kind of like, you just don't do that. Like you just say like, that would be a thing to do if you are
actually working on the relationship.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, I know you've had this theory all season. I have been on the other end of it.
Yeah.
And I do think I could be totally wrong, but his look of shock when she said, what about just trying a separation? Like you guys live in separate places. It leads me to think that no, they haven't done that yet because he was so shocked.
I'm with you. There's a few moments in this episode. That one, when they were in the car going to the beach and Lindsay was like, if I had heard that a lady moved out or my woman moved out of the house and I would instantly like, so to me, and listen, that one you could argue like, no, that's Lindsay saying that she heard that she moved. You could argue that, but I think it wasn't. I think it was Lindsay saying like, you're telling them to separate. If I heard that they were going to separate, I would think this type of thing.
Yeah.
That happens. And then Ciara says, you know, just think of it because you guys live together. The office is right next door. So she hadn't made a reference to any type of separation.
Amanda or Lindsay?
Ciara.
Hadn't.
Oh, yeah.
Lindsay kind of hadn't. And he was shook. So I
And
think
you could
those three
see that
things.
he was genuinely taken
I
aback.
think makes me feel like maybe they weren't living separately now.
I just think that they can both be happening. I think that Kyle, even if he is staying at the unit down the hall, that he still isn't thinking that they're
separated,
that the marriage is over. He's still thinking that there is a shot. So like,
Clearly he thought that all the way up until this beach
right.
scene.
So when he does things like because there's a moment where he says like, hold on. I can't remember what specific thing that they were talking about, but there is a moment where it seems like he kind of like, you know, like obviously you know that there's cameras on you. Obviously you know that you have mic packs on. I think that, you know, I'm sure that there's been times that they've been able to say some things on mic and just kind of trust that like it's not going to be a part of the thing. Like if I turn my body and kind of walk over here, like Kyle is like the head of this show. I just think that there's concessions made for people in certain roles on this show. He asked Ciara something like, so like, when was this? Was this conversation like when you guys walked the dog the other day? Like he says it very low and kind of turned off to the side to where like he seemed shocked that this had happened. And like he wanted to know like, what's the timeline of this? Like, was it before the marriage counselor or was after? So that day, so if it was the scene, because he knows what everyone's shooting. Like, so it's like, there was a scene with the walking the dog scene. Is that where you guys talked about this? So like, I don't think that Kyle, like, I think that they could still be living in separate units in the same building while Kyle thinking, we've been doing this for a while. I've been sleeping down at this place for a while now. So I think that one doesn't toss out the other for me. It just shows me that Kyle still, I believe, thought I can salvage this. Mm-hmm. This is not over.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, like I can just, this is, it ain't
like
over.
I'm still in this. It's not over.
We went to a marriage counselor. Like, you know, like that's just like, that's demonic to like drag a partner through that. Yeah. It is it is straight up demonic to be like, no, we'll just go to this therapy session so I can talk about it. And it'll be like because now I just think that Amanda's just like doing everything that she can to get the rises out of Kyle that she can, to get the reactions, to do we went to this and I tried my best and like, I don't know what else to do. I've really done everything I possibly can. But yeah, to watch Kyle
it's
do
very
that thing,
Gone Girl.
it's so gross.
Do you know how like she would like keep the diary and like she was the perfect girl. She was the cool girl.
I never saw that.
What?
Psychotic.
It is one of the best movies ever made. It is such a good psychological thriller.
Yeah.
It is. You also get a nice little treat from Ben. You know. No?
I never saw it.
But I mean, you didn't hear he does Full Frontal in it?
Oh, Ben Affleck does?
Yes, girl.
Is it good?
It's amazing.
Oh my! Now I know why you liked him. Okay, I remember.
No, I like him for other reasons, but that's a big one.
Ayo.
You lucky lady, Jen.
I will say this
Please.
one thing about this last scene. I had a hard time watching Ciara talk to Kyle like she cared that he was miserable and that he was having a hard like that. She kind of put them together. Like, you guys can't be miserable. You guys, you this, you guys that. And it kind of made me be like, right, but this whole season you've been shitting on this dude. You've been Paige DeSorboing him up and down the block. Fine, not again. Like, dude, but like, you're here for her.
Yeah.
Fine. And I'm fine with that. But it seemed a little...
I didn't hate on that.
It just seemed like she cared a little too much for Kyle, which I was like, you care nothing for this dude. What are we doing?
I don't think that's true because Kyle always has Ciara's back. Like he really or he does a lot. Like, and he gets kind of emotional about things that she's gone through. I do think that they have their own relationship. I think it has been tainted by the cloud that is Amanda and Kyle's relationship. And I think of it like if this, God forbid, if this is the three of us, right? You're Kyle, she's Amanda, I'm Ciara. Obviously, I'm going to have her back more. And I'm going to, if you do something, I'm going to shit talk you, or I'm going to talk back to you if I see you treat her a certain way, if that's the situation, right? But that doesn't mean that I still wouldn't want to have like a real heart to heart with you, because I do love you. You annoyed me on how you treated her, but I still love you and like would talk to you the way she talked to him. I that didn't totally ring untrue for me, but that's just how I took it.
If you had been shit talking me to her for a whole summer because I was being a dick or whatever, and then coming to me and being sweet, I would be pissed about that. If you're gonna shit talk me, do it to her, do it to me. I like, let's go. So if that would have happened, I would have definitely been like, get the fuck out of here. You're full of shit. You've been railing on me this entire summer. Like, I appreciate you're here for my wife, and that's great. Good friend. I don't believe a word you're saying about, I can't be miserable and this and that, because you've literally said this whole summer the opposite.
But Kyle likes the attention.
That's the thing, is that Kyle, listen, and this is actually kind of sad because it's just, again, just like, oh God, it is a psychological thriller to like think about like what, like Kyle believes that he is like the butt of every joke, the asshole in the room, the guy that's always like storming out. Like he has been put in this position so many times and has chosen the wrong path in all of it. Always, he's such a reactionary person,
So
you
reactionary.
know? That like he now knows that he is just a problem child of the house for however long now. So I think that he appreciates anything that Ciara has to say to him. Like he's probably just like, he knows what Ciara thinks. He hears her. He's been vocal about it. Like, I don't understand why Ciara is just always like, so like, she doesn't give a shit about me. All she does is it's just kind of pump this one up. And now my wife's thinking about doing this because like he knows that he's kind of earned that. He still gets frustrated with it, but you know that Kyle's no dummy. He knows that he's earned what he's gotten. I think that if anything, all this did, like if this were just sort of like a part of the narrative, it was just to underline and bold one more time how Ciara is literally spending all of her own personal time just trying to help Amanda get to where she thinks that she deserves to be able to go. And so she's like, I think that it's not diabolical of Ciara to act like she gives a shit about Kyle, but I don't think that the audience really is looking at that right now. I think that they're just seeing her doing one more thing to like, wow, like she did this in the car, like whatever the conversation was in the car, she brought up the Kyle and Amanda situation and like, I just want them to be happy and whatever. She's at the beach. West is there. They've got their newfound love. They're all playing whatever, but she's taking a moment to like try to make it to where Amanda can move out for a minute and like get her head on straight. Like it's like I said, it's just, if you're a big Kyle stan, of course you're going to look at this and be like, I don't like the way that she played this. But like, I think that what the takeaway is going to be, and what the intended takeaway by the producers was to show like, here she is again, just going out there trying to get Amanda to be able to get to go where she wants. And it
Turns out Amanda went where she wanted.
Yeah, she was already gone.
Yep.
God. Okay.
Well, that was part one, guys. Head over to part two. Like, subscribe, hype, and tell a friend before you go.
That dinner scene, I was telling Mike when he came home today, and I'd already watched it, and he was like, I have to watch it. And I said, I'm going to save it for the show, but I just want to tell you that like we have watched this scene happen a million times. And for the first time ever, going into watching what we see happens at this dinner table, never in a million years did I think this, but I think that crowds will be cheering from across the globe about Kyle. Tell her what the like everyone like is going to be cheering Kyle for a dinner table takedown that like you never saw coming. For the first time, everyone's going to be like, wow, Kyle, give it to her.
Because of what's happened in light of recent events, you are watching this and it is a dinner table takedown like we've never seen before.
Like from an angle that we've
from an angle we've never watched.
Yeah,
it
from a
before.
camera we've never had the pleasure of.
And I didn't want to, but here we are.
Here we are, and it was
Stick your feet in, the water's
yeah.
warm.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
we're
right,
going
let's
over to
do
part 2. Bye, guys.
Love you. Bye.
Minnie, you ready for part 2? She's in her producer chair.